Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. And my keto carbs are under 20. And when I say carbs, I mean total carbs. I don't do net. I don't do wonky different things like shakes and bars that I call candy bars with wigs on them. Tammy, that was so cute. I tuned into Tammy yesterday. She was live. And right as I tuned in, she was talking about me always talking about those protein, energy, whatever bars, and calling them candy bars with wigs because they kind of are. And I remember that Rochelle always said she had a Quest bar on her way to the gym every single day. So or Atkins bar. But that's a huge difference with us and the Atkins program. Although, if you were flipping to decide what you wanted to do, initially you would say, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is they have tons and tons of chemical products that you can eat and think that you're doing the Atkins diet to perfection. And you probably are. It's just that you're overloading on your on your chemicals. And there is no daily requirement for chemicals in your body. And so that's why you always hear me pounding things like diet soda, artificial sweeteners, and fake foods, chemical foods, foods that are made to taste like real foods and from days gone by. So we need to be careful when you flip things over and you see the label. You need to be careful that it says other natural flavorings, because that is like just below the law of what they can get away with junk. And I've always suspected that Poland Springs is not using above the board items when it says other natural flavorings. I've kind of veered away from Poland Springs anyway. I'm just drinking pretty much San Pellegrino, Mountain Valley, and Smart Water sparkling when I can find it. But San Pellegrino seems to be more readily available. I bring two with me to work. And, in the summer, it always seems that we need more liquids because we're sweating more. But what we need is more salt in the liquids that we're drinking. And ironically, Tammy went over this yesterday as well. She said that she doesn't drink a lot of water. She makes her Soul water, and it's just a very high sodium dose of water, and she had that cute little to-go container. And so she takes a glug of that, and she gets like 1,000 milligrams of her sodium. And that's what we need to replenish when it's summer and, we're sweating buckets or whatever people say. It's not the liquids going in because it's the electrolytes going out. So you need to make sure that you have a lot of salted water. And the two salts that I always use and recommend are the pink Himalayan, because of all the natural minerals in it, and also Celtic sea salt. And I actually have a little dish of the Celtic salt crystals. And I take a few and put them on my tongue, kind of chew them up a little bit. And then I drink my pink Himalayan salted water. You following me with this? So I'm not drinking more water in the summer. I'm drinking salted water, more salted in the water, more salts. And so that's what's going to work for you with your body. So just maybe even, carry pink Himalayan salt with you and somehow get it into, if you're having a glass of it, it's easy. You can just shake it. But if you're having a bottle like me, I almost need a little baby funnel to put it in. But you know what? I've done weirder things, like bringing my own olive oil or macadamia nut oil or blend of them to a restaurant to put on my salad so I know what I'm getting. Because if you think that restaurants are buying extra virgin cold pressed olive oil from Italy, no. And California oils are probably truer to the Italian extra virgin Italian olive oil that they say they are, or olive oil that they say they are, because they did an expose of the olive oils that come from the other countries. A lot of them come from Tunisia, and they are identified as that. And you can only hope that they're 100% olive oil oils, because once you start cutting it, like I was in the store the other day, and I was seeing all of these deftly, cleverly front of the package oils, and they were putting sunflower oil and canola oil into the olive oil. And the way that it was, if you were new to keto, you would be buying that jug because it looked like such a good deal, because it's like, well, the one bottle of the olive oil, extra virgin 100%, is like, 12 or $13, and the tin can of whatever this is like $11. And it's like, well, why am I not buying that? And then it's because it's not all olive oil. That's why. But you could get it home and say, oh, there's my first duping. Because don't you find that when you're doing that, when you were beginning keto, that you had some costly lessons that nobody else was there to save you from? That's what I always found. I'd bring something home and it'd be like, are you kidding me? I'd read the back a little more thoroughly than I did when I was purchasing it. There's the carrageenan and the cottage cheese, or the sour cream, or the heavy whipping cream. Yeah, there it's hiding and lurking. Or the canola oil is hidden into, the oil that I'm buying that I think is such a pure product. Or then one time I bought some burger, and I bought a tube because it had 25% fat versus the others, because the most I can get sometimes is 20%, and that's with the Wagyu or the Kobe burgers. And so it was 25% fat, and I wanted that. And I got it home, and it said fillers and other natural flavors. What? Say what? That was no deal at all, because it's like, into the trash it goes. What's filler mean? So be careful when you're reading those labels, because you could be duped. And I did a lot of expensive lessons. Like, well, at first I did a lot of keto-fying, and thinking that I needed those things. And I didn't need those things before, but all of a sudden, because they were keto and they were like legally allowed, because it was like almond flour or coconut flour, I began baking and buying these very expensive ingredients. And of course I would buy the organic, because, God forbid that quarter of a teaspoon would have a GMO in it, right? So I have a lot of expensive spices in my ironing board. Now a spice, because it's an antique house, so it used to be an ironing board that would flip out, and Greg made it into a spice rack, so it's great. So anyway, yes, I do total carbs. Did I digress enough? There's like 4 minutes of digression in between the total carb at first, not net, and then going back to it. Yeah, I can drift off. So some people do the net, and that's how they get duped into thinking those bars are going to be okay for them, and that there's some nutritional value to them, and that it will carry them. Trust me, if you're in a place with your keto food plan where you need to be carried, you need to get enough fat at whatever that last meal is, be it your first meal, your second meal, or ideally your one meal a day. So it needs to be with enough fats in it so you can segue all the way. Now I have my fatty coffees, and now I've integrated my fatty chai tea as well. And so I'm enjoying just little boosts of fat along the way. So I cut my bulletproof coffee way back. And so now it is it's a fatty coffee, but it's not the 400 and something calories it used to be. And so I'm happy for that. And then I'll have another one, the one that I'm having today, my second coffee, is from the Genius VitaCup. And so I made like 20 ounces of it. So the second cup will have like 8 to 10 ounces of the part of that, because it's like $2 something a cup, or like $1.75 for one pod. Yeah, I'm going to make it last. And so anyway, I added ghee to it. And so I've cut back on my heavy whipping cream, and I'm having ghee with my like chai and my second cup of coffee. So that cuts back on the dairy part or the animal product part. So I'm happy for that. So what am I having to eat today? Well, it's already planned. It's already been put in because that's how I like it. And I use the chronometer. And if you're a client of mine, you use the chronometer too, except for Cindy. Cindy doesn't use it, but she still gets it done with me. And so you put your food into your chronometer for the day, and you grant me permission, and I can go right into your chronometer and see what you're having and give suggestions on what we do. And a lot of times people, when they track, they find an item that they're having, and instead of like looking for it specifically or putting it in specifically like you can, like a custom food, they'll take something like one serving. And I don't know what a serving is. To me, a serving is like 1 cup of lettuce. It's like, well, is that hand packed like an ice cream quart? Or is it, are they loosely flowed right in? So I weigh my lettuces in grams. Some of you have seen my video. So I put my big salad bowl onto the kitchen scale, and I put in, 75 grams of red leaf, 75 grams of baby spinach, 75 grams of arugula, 75 grams of Olivia's baby organic romaine. I do things like that. So then it is as accurate as it can possibly be. I do use the tablespoon for measuring my oils into the salad because it's, real easy that way. So today, what am I having? Well, we cooked filet tenderloin steaks on the big green egg. So I've got those to have today. And so my macros for today are 1,313 calories. I love that. And then my protein is 52. It's below my 60-gram cap. My carbs are 12.6, and I'm having lots of veggies. And my fats are 108.7. I will probably add another tablespoon of something, maybe olive oil or macadamia nut oil to my salad. And into my day, and I have 1 meal a day. It's between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. And then I'll have my bulletproof coffee at 4 in the morning. And then the lower version. So I'm actually having modified bulletproof now. So anyway, the meal is 5 ounces of tenderloin, 60 grams of these steak cut mushrooms sauteed gently in butter, 60 grams of asparagus lightly roasted with coconut oil on them, and my big salad with all those lettuces that I aforementioned. And then I put on that the macadamia nut oil and the extra virgin olive oil, organic. And somebody said to me that they bought the macadamia nut oil finally and that they haven't had it yet. And she said, note to self, have the macadamia nut oil. I told her she can send it to me because I know that I will be having it. I just love that oil blended with the extra virgin olive oil. It just makes for my yummy meal. And so that's what I'm having today, and it's going to be a great meal. I saute the tenderloins. He cooks them extra, extra rare, just with that smoky flavor from the big green egg. And so then I I heat them up in the pan, 5 minutes each side. They cook all the way through. They heat all the way through, not cooked. They're still like medium rare. And I do it in butter. And my life is a grand life. And that's like less than 1,400 calories. And I get to have all those goodies today. So I'm very excited about that. But yes, when you are new to keto, don't take anything for granted because there's a lot of mistakes that can be made. The products that you're buying can have very dubious ingredients in them. They're getting better and better and better at hiding the ingredients in them. You don't want to have any wheat. You don't want to have any grains at all, like rice flour or modified cornstarch. Do you know what modified cornstarch is? That's a chemical-y way of saying MSG. So you don't want that either. And so you need to be very careful of what you're putting into your body and what the foods contain. So the more wholesome single item ingredients that you buy, like mushrooms, like lettuce, like heavy whipping cream, or like organic egg, things like that that have not been tampered with, the better off your health will be. Because once you start adding back in the artificial sweeteners, the diet sodas, and things like that, candy bars with wigs, you're walking on the wild side. Net carbs is it's like it's like the great frontier, because there's no end to the foods that you can do net carbs with, and still be sticky and muddy and not not clean and abstinent with your choices. I mean, this is more than losing weight. This is about cleaning up your food act. And some people don't even know that their food act needs cleaning up. So we're here to talk about that, like salad dressings, bottled salad dressings. Make your own if you like to have things like, vinegar and spices. When you look at those bottled salad dressings, Primal has pretty good ingredients in it, but it's like $10 a bottle. That wouldn't take long to go through. I'd rather spend my $10 on, 3 packs of Kerrygold butter, thank you very much, or 2 pounds of grass-fed burger, thank you very much. It goes further. And so I'm happy with my extra virgin olive oil and my macadamia nut oil anyway, because I'm not a vinegar person. It just closes up my throat. So more salt in the water you're drinking. That's the secret of summertime sweating. It's get those salts back in, because your body is just going to be sweating them away, peeing them away. And the more water you drink, the more you're going to dilute what you got. So it's not a lot of water. It's heavily salted what you're drinking. Okay? And you will be just fine. And you won't be getting a smackdown from Sarah. And this came in the mystery box, and I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I just wanted to show it to you because it's like perfect. Remember Romper, Stomper, Bomper, Boo, tell me, do? I do. This is a different way of doing it, isn't it? So, no smackdowns from me if you're aiming for the good stuff and sticking with the good stuff and giving up the not so good stuff. Thank you so... What? What did she just say? Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, under 20. And today it's, under 14. So I will see you the next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.